everybody on this side of me can pick up their blanket. The other side.
And I said, thanks a lot, Jimmy Witch, for listening. Bewitched.
Thank you. Bewitched.
Sitting there, I felt like, my culture was no good. My language was no good. I could hear children cry in the night. No one to hold it.
There was an attempt to destroy our culture. Our cultural events and ceremonies were prohibited. We were abused for using our own languages.
Because I was sitting up, I had to be punished. The punishment was getting strapped and whipped with a belt. I believe it was about 7 times that I was whipped in the back.
There are many who will put on blinders and pretend that this isn't their issue and that the fault is not theirs.
Reconciliation is not an Aboriginal problem. It is a Canadian problem. It is an opportunity for Canadians to prove to themselves and to the international community that Canada respects and protects the cultures of all peoples within it.
There was one woman who spoke that said she was the first mother in 4 generations to raise her own children. What became clear after, and it was spoken that way, is that there was the loss of parenting skills. And that's a serious loss, and it's going to take, my guess is, based on what I heard, it'll be multi-generations to be able to bring that back.
Well, for starters, I didn't know most of what they were sharing. I didn't know it was that bad. I guess in grade 2 I learned about assimilation, but not to the measures that they took it.
It was powerful. It was compelling. But there's part of me that was holding me back. I didn't really want to be involved, engaged in emotionally.
There's still a lot of stereotypes and assumptions that are made, and when I hear the survivors speaking, I'm humbled about their willingness to and ability to forgive, to share, and to commit to moving forward and healing.
This is sacred.
They're not right or wrong, they just are, and they're people's own experiences. So you don't feel necessarily attacked as a settler, but you're pulled into the narrative. So I think it's really helpful to see people.
As a parent, that's really hard to imagine and to even comprehend, taking small children from families that love them and have formed them. So yeah, Ronnie's story of being taken, of watching people get beaten with broken hockey sticks for not standing in line correctly, or of speaking their language when they weren't supposed to, or any of these things. I mean,
that work of reconciliation happens at the margins of encounter, and that reconciliation happens, or that encounter happens, not through debate, but the sharing of stories, the receiving of stories back and forth, which is exactly what the TRC was all about.
Obviously, we can't. Reconciliation doesn't mean forgetting it and moving forward like a lot of people want to do, like, oh, pick it up and move it on. Like, that's, I think, a lot of people's mindset about reconciliation, and I think that there needs to be a huge change in order for there to be reconciliation. Like, obviously, we came over, we stuck them in residential schools, we've done all of these things, and almost everything I feel like is kind of institutionalized by Europeans, essentially. So yeah, I think that like things need to change. It can't keep going in this direction, and we all need to work together to figure out kind of what reconciliation really does look like. It can't be 100% of everyone. Like, there's a relationship, and that needs to be give and take.
You know, do we believe that children are an empty vessel and that we need to put something in them? Or do we believe children are a mine full of gems of inestimable value and that we need to help them come out? Because those are two very different educational models. You know, do we believe that some people were born to lead and the most people were born to follow? Because if we don't believe that, we might have to think about very different models of government than we have. Do we believe justice is going to come when two gladiators duke it out and the winner says what's right? Because if that case, our system of law, we might want to rethink it.